Good morning, everybody. This is Pastor Bob with Surfing the Word Ministries. And if you ever want to look this up on YouTube, it's YouTube, Surfing the Word, and then you see a big circle, green circle there with a big S on it. So push the big S, and you'll get to hear some of the other teachings if this has really blessed you today. So today is Sunday, down here in good old sunny Bradenton, Florida. And today I want to talk about, this is a pretty heavy thing. You don't really hear this in churchdom today, but it's 12 signs of that a demon will give you trouble. Now that's heavy, isn't it? 12 signs, how do you know the demons will give you trouble? But here's the thing. Number one, in John 10:10, it says the devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy. But God came that you might have life abundantly. So number one right there, Jesus saying the boogeyman is real. The boogeyman is real. The devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy. Who? You. But Jesus says, I've come that you might have abundant life. Okay? Now so Jesus said the devil's real. Then we go to the second scripture, which is 2 Peter 5:8. 2 Peter 5:8. And for time purposes, I'm not going there, but it says, resist the devil and he will flee from you. Okay, just paraphrase it without going into the depth there. So 1 Peter 5:8 says, resist the devil and he will flee from you. Well, then I wrote, resist what? You can be a Christian, I'm to resist the devil. Well, I don't know what the devil's doing. How do I know this is the devil? I'm a brand new Christian. I don't know nothing. So he says, resist the devil and he will flee from you. So we're going to find out, what am I to resist? Am I to resist the devil? Yeah, but how do I know if it's the devil or not? I don't know nothing. So today we're going to take a look at that. So today we're going to find out what demonic things in life that we are to resist. So people will travel on ignorance. They don't know nothing. Well, today I'm going to show you what it is. And it will change your life forever. I was thinking about, we taught on the other day, Matthew chapter 4, and where Jesus went out to be tempted by the devil. That whole part of being tempted by the devil, I was thinking, okay, devil, see if you can trap me. That changed a little twist to it. Devil, here I am. This is my beloved son, who I'm greatly pleased. So he sent him out. He announced him he's going to be tempted by the devil. And the devil says, okay, I'm going to set up booby traps. I'm going to put booby traps to get Jesus. And then it goes on, without getting into that teaching, that he was tempted and tempted and tempted. Then each time that he was tempted, Jesus beat him. It is written. It is written. It is written. It is written. So he tried to trap Jesus, but he couldn't do it. Because Jesus knew who he was and how to defeat him with the word. So Jesus is already smart. He didn't fall in, cave in like Eve did. Oh, let out, you'll be like God if you done. Yeah, I'll eat some of that. Oh, it looks so good. So he trapped Eve. Now, Jesus, he went out to see if he could be trapped. Well, he passed because it's written. Okay, so he tried to, and he also to, if you're the son, if. So, okay, so the devil's real, been tempted by Jesus, so the devil's out there real. Okay, so a few weeks ago, we were on the story in Matthew chapter 5, the story about the demoniac. And in the demoniac story, we can go to Matthew chapter 5.
Is it Matthew or Mark?
Excuse me, Mark. Thank you. Mark. Yes, Mark chapter 5. I get talking too fast sometimes. Mark chapter 5. So there's going to be traps right here set up. So how do we know if it's the devil? Who am I to resist? How am I know who my resistor is to resist? So today we're going to take a look at the demoniac. We know who he is. He was out there in the tombs and all that. But we're going to look at 12 manifestations that Satan used in the demoniac. So let's just jump on down into that, into verse 5. And without time purposes getting above on 4, they were on a boat trip going over there. Total resistance, storms. The boat was going over to where the demoniac lived, and there was push back, push. So You ain't going. You're not going there. The waves and Jesus is asleep in the front of the boat. And Jesus, don't you care? We're going down. Jesus woke up. Hey man, we ain't going down. We're going up. Don't you know who's in the boat with you? I'm Jesus. You see me feed 5,000. Don't you know who I am? So you have a success story because Jesus is in the boat. Okay. So then now we drop down to 5. So they were pushing back all the way, getting all the way to where they're going. Then in chapter 5, I'm going to read this and we'll come back and we'll take a look at it. In Mark 5:1, and they came to the other side of the sea in Gardanius, we'll call Gardanius. And 2, and when they came out of the boat immediately, met him out of the tombs, ran out of the tombs, was an unclean spirit. Unclean spirit. So now we got an unclean spirit to meet him. Hi, Jesus, unclean spirit. That's who greeted him. So there's a trap right there. And if you really do a study in the Bible, it says 22 times Jesus mentions unclean spirits. So here Jesus hits the shore. What happens? Come out to meet him. A man out of the tombs with an unclean spirit. That's a nice greeting committee, isn't it? Unclean spirit. Who had been dwelling among the tombs, and no one could bind him. We'll hit on that later. It says no one could bind him, because he had been bound in shackles and chains, verse 4, and the chains had been pulled apart by him. Boy, that'll preach. Pulled apart by him, and the shackles were broken. You know, he had so much demons in him that he had supernatural power. Whoa. You can't break chains, but he had the demons in him. So they pulled the chains apart in verse 4, and the shackles to the pieces. And nobody could tame him. Nobody. Chapter in verse 5. And always, day and night, he was in the mountains, in the tombs, crying out and cutting himself with stones. So when he do it just at night? No, he did it day and night. So it says he cried out of the tombs night and day, cutting himself and screaming and crying out. Verse 6. And when he saw Jesus afar, he ran and worshipped him and cried out with a loud voice. This is really interesting. He cried out with a loud voice and said, "What have I to do with you? What are you doing here? What do I have to do with you? What do I have to do with you, Jesus?" Well, you already knew his name. Isn't that amazing? The greeting already knew his name, the unclean spirit. What have I to do with you, Jesus? Son, he already knew his Son of the Most High God. I implore you, by God, that you do not torment me. There's a spirit of fear going on right there. That you do not torment me. Nice greeting party, isn't it? And then 8 said, for he said to him, and Jesus said to him, "Come out of this man, you unclean spirit." And then he said, "What is your name?" And he answered him, "My name is Legion, for we are many." A legion of soldiers back then was 4,000 to 6,000 men. We can take it on the high side. So most of them say a legion is 6,000. So he says, "What is your name?" Legion, for there are like 6,000 of us. Wow. And then 10, he begged him earnestly that he would, I like this, and he begged him earnestly that he would not send them out of the country. Oh, this is our home here. Don't send me away. I want to stay here. We love it here in this town. They begged him, "Don't send me away. Keep me here. Don't send me away. I love it here." Verse 11, now a large herd of swine was feeding in the near mountains. So all the demons begged Jesus, 6,000 demons, let's say, 6,000 demons begged him, saying, "Do not send us to the pigs, send us to the pigs, for we may enter them." You know what that really breaks down? They want to commit suicide. You know, that's another teaching. So all the demons begged him, saying, "Send us to the pigs, that we may enter the pigs." And then 13, at once Jesus gave them permission, and the unclean spirits went out and entered into the pigs. and it says here there was about 2,000 pigs there, 2,000, and the herd ran violently. They suicide pigs. They ran violently down the steep place, and they fell into the sea and they drowned it. They committed suicide. Well, that's a whole other teaching. Pig suicide with demons in them? That's a different story. So let's go to 14. And those who fed the swine, and those who fed the swine fled, and they went to the city, and they told everything that was going on, and they went out to see what had happened. And then Jesus came and saw the one that was demon possessed, that had the legion, sitting clothed in his right mind. And this says people looked around, they were afraid. Verse 16. And those who saw them, how it happened, who had been demon possessed, and they told them about the pigs. I love it in Acts 17. They said, Jesus, get out of here. You screwed up the pig business. They seen the guy sitting there, wow, all these years screaming and hollering, nobody go near the tombs. And they came out and said, well, thank you, Lord, for saving this man. No, get out of here. You're screwing up the pig business. So they began to plead, get out of here. Get out of our region. Get out of here. And when he got into the boat, he who had been demon possessed begged Jesus, let me go with you. Let me go with you. Hey, a few minutes before, he was screaming and cutting himself. He was sitting in naked in the tombs, screaming and hollering and telling him, get out of here. Now he says, can I go with you? There's a pointer we'll teach here in a little bit. Can I go with you, Jesus? I'm out of here. I ain't going to live out any tombstones no more. I want to go with you. I want to become a socialite. I want to go share Jesus with people. And those who saw him, how it happened, had been demon-possessed about it, and they began to plead with Jesus, get out of here. You're screwing up the pig business, 18. And he got into his boat, and got in the boat, who the man was demon-possessed, begged him that he could go with him. And Jesus said, no, you can't go with me. I want you to do this. I want you to go home. This is first missionary, New Testament. I want you to go home to your friends, and I want you to tell them how great things the Lord has done for you, and how he has had compassion on you. And then he took off. And he departed and began to proclaim to Decapolis and all Jesus done. He studied the word Decapolis. Was 5 large cities in the area. That would almost be like Tampa, Clearwater, St. Pete, Sarasota, and Braylon, the zone. So he went out into that Decapolis with 5 major cities right there together. And he departed and began to proclaim in Decapolis on all that Jesus had done for him. And everywhere they went, they marveled. Wow. Yep. Testimony, the blood of the Lamb and the power of his testimony. Yeah, I was out there for years, man. I was cutting myself, all screwed up, messed up. My head was screwed up. I was chained. I was bound. It was crazy, crazy, crazy. And he getting the power of the testimony. And then he turned around. They all went, wow, wow, wow. I'll tell you, you can wow people too today with your testimony if you get out there and tell them. Jesus don't want you hanging around the tombs. He wants you to go and tell. Go and tell. Hallelujah. So this is part 1 of the teaching about signs of demonic trouble in your life, and we're going to go to part 2 here in a minute. God bless you guys and have a good day.